Alright, let's do a weekly review or the review of the week. The Nasdaq was, the market sold off after it opened. So the market opens around here. It sold off quite a bit, and the Nasdaq, I saw a pattern there that I recognized. The market was going to recover to its open. I've seen it so many times that it sells off, and it does at least something like this. So maybe not the full extent recovery, but 80% at least. So I saw that happening, and the market was going to recover. So in my thinking, I was like, okay, the Nasdaq is doing that. The ES is probably gonna move with it. So I see that the level is it's going up inside my level. It starts to rotate down, and then moves up, and I'm like, oh, that's good. It's moving up, right? So let me place an order inside my level with my stop outside the level. But yeah, I'm basically buying a top here. But the thing is, the Nasdaq made me do this, and I realized
Filled.
something. I get a fill here, and immediately
Filled.
get stopped out. So what I realized is that I shouldn't be looking at the Nasdaq. So this chart is gone from now on, as well as the crude oil. I don't wanna. Those markets are 97% the same, but I'm in my head. I'm like, the Nasdaq is gonna predict or tell me what the ES is gonna do, but it's nonsense. The movement is about the same, so I decided to just focus on the S&P instead. All right, so I ditched that. I also started to think I need to work from my levels, right? And I did that this week, and it resulted in I'm trading in Sim right now, just to see if I can apply everything we learned in the past month and build some confidence at how I should read my levels. So this is when markets or Trump announced that he had corona. So this was in the middle of the night. The market sells off. And I think I open my chart when the market is around here-ish. Something like that. So I draw my level here. I draw my level here at the top. And the move over here, this happened relatively quick. So it came down to my level. You can also see that on the footprint, but the footprint should be at 3. What is it? 411-ish. Look at this around here. So the market sold off. I start to rotate up, and I was like, this is kind of confirming my level, but I should respect my level. It came down, and then it formed a nice hammer on the 5 tick over here. And I was like, okay, that's my indication. I'm just gonna try and see if this actually works, trading for my level. I place an order on these 2 levels, I get filled. And this move happened relatively quick over here. So it moved up. I got filled on a 10 tick profit, and then I moved my stop first to 1 tick, but I was like, I want to have it better. I want to have more. So I moved to 5 ticks. Just to build some confidence, I don't want to have 1 tick. It resulted in a 15 tick thing. But what inspired me the most is look what the market does afterwards. This move on itself is quite big. It's quite a distance for a new trade. And only because I had the absolute bottom from my level. And this is like confirming that I should trade from my levels, because let's say if you have I accepted a 1 tick profit instead, so I accepted the rotations. Look at how far it goes up. Then you have these rotations. You move your stop to here, and then you get stopped out here. But it's still quite the move. But if you're like, maybe it does more. Maybe you're like, okay, these are my 1500% imbalances. I place it here. Maybe under the stack. You have to be happy with 10 ticks profit then. But if you respect that, look at the move. It's amazing. It's such, because this on itself, quite the move, huh? So this inspired me to look at my levels and trade from them and see what the market does at my levels. So let's see, you have this, you see it rotating. You take along here, you still have quite a movement going up there, even though it's not ideal, which is at 530 or something. Right. So let's see, you see this happen, the level holds, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna enter here, 2 ticks. You get filled, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you move your stop, and you're probably out at 5 ticks. Let's say you see this happen, you're like, hey, it holds, we enter here. 1, 2, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You move your stop. So even though the level is not like an amazing move to the upside, it's still a trade that wouldn't fail but give you some profit. Okay, it didn't work out, but you wouldn't have been stopped out at all. You just don't need to wait that it comes back all the time. And yeah, if you place your order here and you see the market go up that far, you're like, that's too far. When it plummets, it plummets. All right. What I like about this is that the market is really respecting the levels that I drew hours before. And that's really, really nice. And yeah, over here you can also see the levels being held quite nice. It tried to break it, but it didn't do that. And then it started to rotate. You're like, oh, and then it breaks above it. And then you can say, wow, that's really strong because it tried to break, but it didn't. So this is confirming the strength of the level. You see this happen, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go along. Over here, your stop should ideally be under this, but let's say you have 5 ticks, it's still it's probably somewhere like here. Look at the move. Look at the move if you're brave enough to hold it. You get probably stopped out here. But if you're really like, yeah, I'm gonna just let it go rolling, you can be in the trade forever. The market opens here though. So that's after the market opens and shoots up. Look at the extended move when you enter here and you're brave enough to hold it, right? Only because you trust your levels. I really started to dig what is happening here. Alright, look at these levels. These levels are placed hours before. Look at this one. That's amazing, man. That's just simply amazing how it's being respected. Where did the level come from? Ah, look at that. I drew it over here. This was the trigger for that level. And then finally, when it gets hit, it's respected so good. That's amazing. These levels, I need to trust my own levels even more. It's amazing. Sound like Trump. Nice. So this is not like, this is like confirming how strong the level is. It tries to break it, but it goes up. It's not easy to catch this. This is maybe a bit easier, but not easy. But see how well it was respected still after hours of it being placed. Yeah, this might be a tricky one here. because this is like telling you, okay, but it kind of depends on how fast it is. This is not even, I'm not even looking at the footprint, just what the candles tell me. Kind of depends on how fast the market moves as well, right? If it moves faster, you're like more cautious. You wait more for the 10 tick. If the market is slower, you could get away with a 5 tick most likely. Alright, another nice move at the level, double top. Yeah, you could say this is really strong. Again, try to break. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna take a short. With your stop probably here, when you enter here. It tries to go. Wait, it doesn't. It's not even that bad though. I was trying to figure out how bad the trade would be if you trusted your own system there. But see, 12.20. So much market movement. So that's about here. So the level, it rotates up. You're like, I'm gonna take a short. You place your, let's say you place it here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ticks. You would have been stopped out. Let's say you take an ideal entry at the top here. You get stopped out on 1 maybe. Yeah, the stop should ideally be here, right? So you should enter as high as you can. But if you do so, it still goes in your favor. Like 1, 2, 3. So you can move your stop. But if you don't do that and you wait for it to recover, you still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You move your stop to break even before that happens, right? You're not gonna let 6 ticks go. So even though this doesn't work out, you would still be probably stopped out here, but not if your stop is above this entry. And but that's what you think you're totally being stopped out, but even when you look at this and you trade from the level, you see that it's holding. Rotations are not really in your favor though. It doesn't make any. You need to be cautious. You need to learn how to read the market at your levels, right? So this is my main focus for the upcoming coming months. The S1, I still have the S1 and the pivot points on the chart. This is the last thing I have on my charts. It's also in the combination with the VWAP, I see, but not to the tick. It's oh, this is where the market closes. Okay. So yeah, I'm really impressed with, for example, over here. That's the S1, right? It's amazing how sharp that level is. So okay, so that's what I'm gonna focus on the upcoming weeks and months and probably years. Get better at reading better and better and start profiting from my levels and understand what the market does when it comes at your level and how you can read that and stick to your choice. If the level is resistant, you're looking for a short, and if it doesn't work out, you do nothing. So that's my lesson from this week. It is all started by that bad trade in the beginning of the week on Monday. So yeah, we kind of moved some things around, using less charts, using less markets, focusing on the levels, and the footprint is a bonus for the rotations. Not even looking at the imbalances at the moment. So see you in the next video. This is my progress so far.